So we saw basically the manual journal entries and the other parts. So we will
Mm-hmm.
also see the different ways of importing the journal entries. Like we have three ways to create
Give
the.
me a second. Just give me a second. Yeah, let's go ahead.
So the three ways are like we have the manual way of entering it, what we saw yesterday, and we have AFBDA. So using that we can load the journals, and we have FBDA template. So the difference between the AFDA and FBDA is that there are few restrictions in terms of performance.
So
So
what was it called? AFDI?
yeah, AFBDA.
AFBDI.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just go from here, create journal in spreadsheet.
Oh, so for this one, we don't need to download anything. It's already there here.
Yeah, basically we will download, but from here we can download. We don't need to go to repository.
Oh, okay. So the group ID is something that came automatically?
Yeah, group ID it will populate automatically.
Okay.
So group ID is something like an identifier actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are the mandatory fields that we need to fill in. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, I have given a name for the journal. So even though this is not a mandatory one, so I just
Mm-hmm.
gave for our reference. And I
Mm-hmm.
selected the ledger and I selected the accounting date when I wanted this particular journal entry. And
Mm-hmm.
system will generate group ID for each journal.
Mm-hmm.
And the source we have selected, or we can select this only the spreadsheet. If you see here from list of value, you'll get
Mm-hmm.
only spreadsheet. It is because we are using AFBDA.
Mm-hmm.
And category I have selected as adjustment. And
What are the other categories that we have there other than adjustment?
so other than adjustment, we have multiple options. Like we have module wise payables, receivables, and the manual, and we have some custom category as well.
Okay.
So we will see this like the category part. So after this, so when we are doing this FBDA, we will see this category part.
Okay.
So I'll show what are the categories available.
So AFBDI is what? What does A stand for? Just adjustment?
No, it's not adjustment. I think it is something best of integrator.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Got it. It's almost like the web ADI thing.
Yeah, it's exactly. It is just the term change of this one video.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And
other
do
than
we
that,
have to save this after we do?
no, we can just
Or
submit this. We don't want to save this.
oh, okay, we just submit it from here. Okay.
So here I have given only two lines. So if you want to add additional lines, you can add it.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave two lines that is for the account code 1510 and 2373,
Mm-hmm.
and I have entered the amount. So apart from that, if we are doing it in the different currency, we will have to attach the currency rate type and the other details as well.
Okay. A quick question here.
Yeah.
I know it must be a very basic question, but when you have the account codes, right? Do they have to be the same for the debit and the credit, or can it? I mean,
I mean, you're asking, can I use the same account for debit?
yes, like 1500, whatever, 1510
Yeah.
for both debit and credit.
Yeah, which means this account itself will have zero balance. So in this case, if you see, maybe after this, we will try to run the trial balance so that we will have an understanding. But basically,
Okay.
if you see here, so
Mm-hmm.
I have 1510 as debit balance 14,000.
Mm-hmm.
If I take the trial balance, maybe for a particular period, October,
Mm-hmm.
so I will,
Oh, so you'll have two records showing that it has 14,000 and 14,000. But if you use the same account, it becomes zero.
yes, correct. Because if
Okay.
you see here, this will add balance in debit. So which means
Mm-hmm.
this is in positive. So for this
Yes, yes.
account, if you see this is in credit, so this balance will be minus 14,000.
Yeah.
So if I
So
add,
basically, you're trying to give two separate records here for us to see.
yes, correct.
Okay, got it.
But if I use same account, which means plus
Yeah,
14,000.
yeah. Minus 14,000.
Yeah. So usually we will not record that way, even though we wanted to cancel or reverse any particular thing. Always we will
Mm-hmm.
use different account. So maybe we will use the credit column to knock off it.
Okay.
So we will use single journal, but anyway, I'll show this of multiple journals. So if you see here, the earlier page, what we were seeing is that for single journal,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to upload only one journal. So in this case, if I wanted to maybe upload multiple journal at a time, so I can use this page.
Mm-hmm. So when you say single journal on the previous one, right?
Yeah,
So when we have two records there, right? Like two accounts.
yeah,
So both of those accounts are considered as one journal?
yes, correct.
Okay. Because it has entered as debit and credit. Okay.
Yeah, so we have two things. One is header, and the other one is line. So these are
Mm-hmm.
all headers, and
Mm-hmm.
l- the account code combination we can say these are lines. So which means
Okay.
one particular journal will have two parts. One is header, and the other one is line.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why this is called as an one journal. If you see
Mm-hmm.
here in the multiple lines, they have merged both the header and line. We have journal and we have ledger, and also we have the account code combination in
Ah,
the
okay.
same line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we have filled the mandatory details. I'll upload this.
Mm-hmm.
So this is submitted concurrent program. So we will
Mm-hmm.
just see the concurrent program and we can check in the application.
Okay.
Okay, it is already posted.
Mm-hmm.
So we can check in the manage journal. Okay, so this is the journal that we created.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see, this is the journal name that we have given. So basically,
Mm-hmm.
system will combine the name that we are giving along with the category. So which means,
Category. Okay.
yeah, we have selected adjustment. So system has taken UHI spreadsheet adjustment,
Okay.
and the category that we selected is adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see the journal batch, so basically this will consume two things. So one is the journal, I mean journal name
Group
that we are
ID.
giving, and yes, correct, the group ID and the import process name.
Yeah.
This is how
So
system will generate. And here,
basically the request ID there, right?
yeah, yeah,
The
yes,
next second part.
yeah.
Okay.
And we will have source as an spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
And when we click submit, system will automatically post this entry. So we don't need to query this again, post it.
Mm-hmm. So what is it? Conversion rate one, inverse conversion rate one.
Yeah, this we didn't use foreign currency, so this will just use for as a default the user
Okay.
rate.
Hmm.
So in our case, it doesn't mean anything since we don't have foreign currency.
Okay.
Okay, so this is one way of importing the journal entries,
Hmm.
and the other way is to import from the repository.
Oh, okay. Is it the same or different?
Yes,
Oh,
same.
this. Oh, this is the same. Okay.
So this is the template that we downloaded from the Oracle repository.
Okay. So this is different then.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
So if you see here, so we have a lot of rows that is filled automatically. So this
Uh-huh.
is seeded one. So we can just remove this one and we can give our value. So this can easily account with more than 50,000 records at one go.
Okay.
But whereas in AFDA, we will have performance issues in terms of
Okay.
loading. So for
S-
the data migration aspect, basically we will use this template, the FBDA.
Okay. Oh, so basically this one pretty much has the same columns and everything,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Okay, but the name is different. It says GL interface, but the other one was saying a single journal or multiple journals,
yes.
the tabs. Okay. The segments. Okay. Date current. Okay. Reference batch name.
Yeah. So
Oh,
reference is nothing but it is naming in the backend actually. So they will
okay.
give the actual name that what we are using. So for each reference, we will have indicator. So this is
Hmm.
batch name, and this is batch description, and this is journal entry name. Similarly,
Where do we get that from? From the back end, you said?
no backend in the sense the batch name what we are entering here. This will be stored under the reference one column.
Okay, but the batch name, where do we get the batch name from? What do we give there normally? Let's say if we want to enter one line of
Okay.
journal.
Okay. No, we can give our batch name. So let's say I wanted to differentiate based on the period. So I will enter maybe once in a month. So I'll use once in a month the FPD processing. So in this case, I
Okay.
can give maybe for this is for the rent payment. So I will say rent and maybe I will say underscore and the period.
So you can give whatever name you want.
Yeah, yes, correct.
Okay, so there's no restriction like whatever this is there that should only be there. Okay.
No, that is not there. So that is there only for the account code combination, the ledgers and the other fields. But for
Yeah.
batch name and the other things, we don't have such restriction.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the
So
user can give anything, and then once this is filled,
yeah.
you upload it. Where do you upload it from?
So we can load it through the interface, like how we loaded our chart of account values. So
Uh-huh.
similarly, we will use the concurrent program to load this journal entries.
So you go to schedule process, and from there you load it.
Yeah, yes, correct.
Okay, schedule process, and what is this called? This has a specific name or something?
Yeah, this will be journal import process. So from there we will
Okay.
do this.
Okay.
So
So
we
you
have,
basically pull the file from where you saved and then load it.
yes, correct, exactly the same process.
Okay.
Yeah. So before that, we will try to create our own category source and the category, I mean, journal source and journal category.
Okay.
So I'm creating a source called UHA source, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm using the source key. So if I wanted to get this source key, instead, like this will be part of the combination if I wanted to import. So that
Okay.
is why we will use source key. Apart from that, no other special function. And I'm just giving the description. And we have
Mm-hmm.
freeze journal.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, when do we freeze journal is that, let's say I have a scenario where after I import the journals, I don't want user to make any changes or anything. I'll allow only to post it. So for
Mm-hmm.
those cases, we can freeze the journal so that the updation will be restricted.
Okay.
And the other option is that partial allow import correction only. So which
Uh-huh.
means I can do the correction.
Okay.
And yes, in the sense that this will not basically freeze the journal. I mean, this will freeze the journal, and no will
The
not.
first one, yeah, no, will not.
Yeah. So that is about freeze journal, and we have the accounting date rule.
Mm-hmm.
So whether we want, let's say I am importing for the November period, so the period is not open. So
Mm-hmm.
whether I wanted to roll the date So which means I'm loading it for November, but the
Mm-hmm.
latest open period is October. So do I want to roll it over like for the October period, or
Mm-hmm.
whether leave it alone? Leave it alone in the sense it will be there, but it will not be posted.
Mm-hmm.
And fail in the sense it will give an exception or the warning that the JV that we imported has failed
Mm-hmm.
because the period is closed. So how do
Okay.
you want to do? So I'll just do roll date for now.
Okay.
So import a journal or reference. So the reference will be imported. So that's it on the journal source.
Reference, what reference will be imported?
Like we will have a column called reference. So maybe if we wanted to have reference, for example, I might import the data from the legacy system. So what I do is
Okay.
that I extract from the legacy system and I'm pushing it into Fusion application. So in
Mm-hmm.
this case, if I want to segregate between 2 years data, maybe I'm importing only 2 years TB trial balance. So in
Mm-hmm.
this case, if I want to segregate between first year and second year, because anyway
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to import the legacy balances, I mean the GL balances as in
Mm-hmm.
journal entry. So in this case, if I want, this will be single entry, I mean
Mm-hmm.
single file. So if I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to segregate, maybe I'll say reference as in 2017-18 and 18-19 the other.
Okay.
So in this case, if I wanted to have reference, I can enable this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And using import using key, what is that?
So this one. So
Okay, the
basically,
source. Okay.
yeah. So yeah, we'll move.
So that is basically for mostly for reporting, right? That check marked
Yes,
boxes.
yes, correct. Only for reporting,
Okay.
reporting and auditing we can say.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Uh-huh.
We'll move.
Yeah, we can go ahead.
Okay, I have saved this journal source.
Mhm.
So similarly, we will create it for category as well.
So why do we create this category? What is the importance of creating this?
So when we are handling inside the Fusion application, so this will not give any meaning. So when we integrate with different application, let's say I have two different application, one for the actual transaction of the business. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe we can take telecom as an example.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, if you see, so in telecom we cannot use Fusion application. So for this, to handle their business, they will have their own application. So for
Mm-hmm.
example, we can take Airtel as an example. So Airtel, so we have
Mm-hmm.
mobile application and then we have the web application.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, if you see, we will recharge or we will pay the postpaid bill only in the mobile application, mostly
Mm-hmm.
80%. And the other
Mm-hmm.
20% would be web application. So the actual business is happening in the different system. So which means this
Okay.
mobile application is not integrated with the Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
So end of the day or maybe end of the period, whichever way we wanted to import the transaction. So we will
Mm-hmm.
set an integration between this actual business application and Oracle Fusion application. So the
Mm-hmm.
data will flow in from the business application.
Mm-hmm.
So there we are mentioning that the source, like from which application we are getting this. And we are
Okay.
also mentioning this is what kind of category. Maybe I'll say this is an recharge. So this
Mm-hmm.
will let me understand this is a recharge based business, and maybe the other business I can say postpaid. So similarly, we can categorize it. So
Okay.
whereas if you see here, we will not have this category because this is unique for the business.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, if it is already there, like the approval and the other part will be there basically, and the adjustment and the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, if we have the special requirement to have it,
Basically, a custom one if you want, you're giving it here.
yeah, the business specific, so that
Okay.
we can define it here,
Okay.
so that we can use this custom source and category when we are importing the transaction or receiving the transaction from the business application.
Okay. So, there are seeded ones like the accrual and all those are seeded, or is somebody
Yes, see that.
created?
Yes, see
Those are
that.
seeded, right? Okay.
Yeah. So we have created the journal source and the journal category.
Did we say journal source as UHI source or UHI category?
This, source. Okay, so we will also say like how to identify the ledger ID.
Mm-hmm.
So from the front end. So I'll just go to view, and from view I go to column. From
Mm-hmm.
here I can select this one, the ledger ID. So I will have my ledger ID seen here. So this is the
Okay.
ledger ID.
No, so there is a ledger ID. Okay.
So similarly, if you want to hide few columns, like I don't want to see the descriptions, so we can
Yeah,
just
you uncheck.
refresh. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I copied the ledger ID.
Mm-hmm. What's the actual flag?
Yeah. So we have two things here. So one is action, or maybe if we wanted to see encumbrance or the budget, so we can use E. So E is
Okay.
nothing but encumbrance. So in this case, we are using A, action. So we
Okay.
will see when we see the budget and the other parts, the
Okay.
encumbrance.
Hmm.
So I'm selecting E for now.
Mm. So that 999K, it's your own thing you're giving?
Yeah, I'm just giving for this one for
Interface
personal
group
client.
identity.
Yeah, I think that's it. I will open this. So just let's see.
Oops, that changed.
So I'll save this and I'll generate this as an CSV file.
Mm-hmm.
So the CSV file is saved. So maybe we can load the journals that we created using FVDA.
Mm-hmm. So load interface file for import is a common thing that you use, and then when you come here, it's specific to this journals, right?
Yes, correct.
Sorry, yeah, yeah, okay.
So if you see this program called load interface file for import, so which means I can load any file. But if you see
Mm-hmm.
here import process, so you can say
That is
this is,
specific.
yeah. So the load interface file is for the UCM part. So once the
Mm-hmm.
UCM processes the all those things and keeps the file in the interface table. So basically, we need another concurrent program to pick from the interface table and
Mm-hmm.
place it in the base table. So we are
Mm-hmm.
using this import process program to pick the file from the interface and place it in the actual base table.
Okay.
So that is why always this will be same, the first program, and the
Mm-hmm.
import process will be different
Mm-hmm.
based on the functions that we are trying to.
Mm-hmm.
For this process, it would be import journal.
Mm-hmm. Succeeded. Completed.
Okay. So now, basically, the system has, I mean, UGM has processed the file and the
Mm-hmm.
file has been placed in the interface. So we will have to import the process or the file from the interface to base table.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll run this program, the interface program that we gave in the earlier process.
Mhm. This is the first time you just loaded it and then that ran that load file to interface, and now you're actually doing the import journals.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So here I'll have two options. So whether I'll pick it from the group ID
Hmm.
or I can import all the groups. I mean,
Okay.
if I wanted to use this specific.
Specific, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for our understanding, I have given a triple nine.
Hmm.
So this will say that whether we wanted to post to suspense account if
Hmm.
we have any unbalanced journal entry. So I'll just
Hmm.
say no. And do we want to create the summary journal? So this also I will say no.
Hmm.
And if we have any descriptive flexible information, so that whether we wanted to validate or we will. So for now, I'll say no since we don't have any descriptive flexibles created.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we can see from here the journal entry source is UHI. I mean the entry name that we have given, and
Hmm.
we have two lines, and the lines are fast.
Hmm.
So we can navigate to the PM journal. We'll try to find from there.
Hmm.
So this is the one that we created.
Hmm.
If you see here, so it has taken the category similarly what we saw for the AFBJ. So the
Mm-hmm.
naming convention and the other part would be similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
So we could see this UHI category that we created,
Mm-hmm.
and the source also we can see that the UHI source.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the difference between that is that that will post automatically, but this we will have to check and we will have to repost it. I mean, we have to post it manually.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll post this centrally. Yeah. So this one is posted.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the three options that we have to create the journal entries in GL module.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So apart from that, we have the foreign currency. So I'll just create the foreign currency. So before that, I'll create this one, the daily rates. So why
Mm-hmm.
do we use daily rate? Is that basically we might have the currency conversion rate today with different rate and maybe tomorrow with different rate. So
Mm-hmm.
for that, I'll maintain a master called daily rates. So where it will give us the value or the particular conversion rate for each day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just navigate to status. So one disadvantage that we have it in the daily rate is that once we have defined and we have uploaded it, so we will not be able to make any changes to that. So that is the only drawback that we have with it.
Mm-hmm.
And we cannot enter it manually. We should use only spreadsheet.
Yeah. So somebody does this daily?
No, not daily, like periodically they will do it. So if this is part, like for example, it is between US currency and the other thing. So which
Mm-hmm.
means here we cannot use this one because if you see, maybe at morning I will have different rate and evening it will have different rate. So for
Yeah,
those
that's
cases,
where.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So for those cases, we have two options. So one is to use spot, or other one is
Mm-hmm.
user defined. So spot is something that the current data at this point of time, what is the rate that I can enter, or user can enter his own rate.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that is the difference. So spot is something that as on like when I'm entering this transaction, what is the conversion rate I can enter? So the other
Mm-hmm.
one is user defined. So user can enter their own value.
Mm-hmm.
So we can use those options according to our requirement. But apart from
Mm-hmm.
that, the corporate is something that we will have loaded. So based on
Mm-hmm.
that, we can have this use. So
Okay.
basically, this corporate will be used mostly for the Middle East countries. Saudi-like
Mm-hmm.
countries, the USD value will be always 3.75 similar to that. So they will
Mm-hmm.
load it monthly. So based on that, they can use this transfer. So here, if we want to use our own daily rate type, so that we can
Mm-hmm.
define it here. So for now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm using the corporate, which we attach to our ledger.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have different options. Like if we wanted to default it, we can default. Or
Mm-hmm.
if we wanted to set a relationship between the currencies, so that we can define it here.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe cross rates. Cross rate is nothing but between currencies. Like if we wanted to maintain two, three
Mm-hmm.
currencies at a time, so that we can maintain. And if we wanted to override,
Okay.
and the currencies, the private currency.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the options. So I'll just go to the daily rate. So I'll upload it for corporate directly. So if you see here, so we will not have anything related to creation in the page. So we
Mm-hmm.
will have only in the create spreadsheet.
Spreadsheet. Yeah. So, going back to the creation of the journals, right, using the AFBDI, um, when you did that through the spreadsheet that was there in the application itself, um, does the UCM also apply there?
No, usually we have to download the template from our repository.
Okay, only then it comes into picture.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So the only reason why we would go for an FPDI instead of an AFPDI is because of the performance if we have lots of journals to enter, right?
Yes. So maybe in a month I'll have total lines, maybe not even more than 1,000 or 2,000. So I can use the FBDA. So I don't need
Yeah.
to go with FBDA. So
Hmm.
FBDA is something more than 10,000, 20,000 records. So for those cases, we can go for FBDA. So other
Okay.
than that, we can use AFBA.
Mhm. No, from conversion is the date they expect. Okay. Mm, conversion rate.
Okay. So these are the rates that we uploaded, and we could see that is created.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we loaded the conversion rate. So we will
Mhm.
try to create a journal entry with different currency, INR.
Mhm.
There was small mistake actually. I didn't change the currency name.
Okay.
No,
Try to reduce the volume.
so if you see here, so the rate is
Mm-hmm.
automatically calculated. So based on the one we uploaded.
Mm-hmm.
So here the entered is different from the accounted. So accounted is nothing but our functional currency or the ledger currency. So we have
Mm-hmm.
attached the USD for the ledger, but whereas the enter currency is INR, which means
Okay.
our foreign currency and entered currency are same, and ledger currency and functional currency are same.
Mm-hmm.
So system is calculating for 16,000 and it has given as 228.57 based on
Mm-hmm.
the conversion rate that we have defined. So we
Mm-hmm.
can see that here that is corporate and the conversion rate is this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll post this JV.
Mm-hmm. You can't update this journal bash. What is that?
Yeah. So this is posted.
Okay. So why did it give that error?
Now because I clicked twice actually. It is
Oh, okay.
loading for long, so I clicked twice. So it is saying it is updated by other user.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So this is accounted with the actual functional currency. So we
Mm-hmm.
will try to see this one, trial balance.
Okay. So this trial balance report is also through a concurrent process only.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll run for November month for now.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have the data access set. So that is ours is UHI US ledger and
Mm-hmm.
the ledger. So we didn't create the ledger set. So we have only the
Mm-hmm.
ledger
Mm-hmm.
and the currency. Everything is defaulted based on our ledger. So
Okay.
here we have different options. That is period to date.
Did you select the ledger by any chance? How did it pick your ledgers? You
Because
just gave the
yeah,
report, right?
yeah, I gave only report. So how the system is picking is that based on the data access set that I have assigned to this particular user.
Oh, it's based on the user. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So this will not happen for all the reports. So for few reports like trial balance, it will pick based on the access that we have given.
Okay.
Yeah. So here if you see, we have PTD. PTD is actual. So in the actual, we have something called the PTD where we can take this report for a particular period, maybe November, December, any period. Or if
Mm-hmm.
we wanted to take for quarterly
Quarterly.
or yearly. So this one is like
Mm-hmm.
projected. So based on the existing transaction that we have did, the system will
Mm-hmm.
project and system will show us the balance.
Okay.
So I'm just selecting PTD
Mm-hmm.
and we have here two options. So whether we wanted to summarize by account or natural account or maybe with the additional second. So I'll just click the natural account.
So what's the difference between that account and natural account?
So account is something, but by individual account code combination. Nature of account is something that as a whole. If you see in chart of accounts, while we are defining, we
Uh-huh.
saw the label called natural account.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is the difference. And additional segment is that
So natural account you mean is the code combination? Is that what it is?
no, while we are defining chart of
Just the segment
yeah,
itself.
segment. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is our trial balance report. So if you see
Mm-hmm.
here, so we have accounts. So that is so we did one.
Based on each of the account. Okay.
Yeah. So basically we did transaction with only this four accounts. So that is why we are seeing this four.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see the beginning balance, so it will
Mm-hmm.
pick from the earlier period. So let's say I start my business on 1st of January, maybe 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So on January 2019, my opening balance or the beginning balance would be zero. So
Yes.
based on the debit and credit, the values may change. Maybe I did a transaction and the debit balance is 10,000. So which means it will be an positive.
Mm-hmm.
And similarly, I have something in credit. So which means this will be negative. So
Mm-hmm.
my closing balance will be next period the opening balance. So this is how system will flow. So since we had few transaction in October, so system has
Mm-hmm.
taken the opening balance. So
Mm-hmm.
for receivable, if you see, we didn't do any transaction. Just
Mm-hmm.
today we did few transactions.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why for receivable and revenue account, the opening balance will be zero.
Okay.
So we did this on debit and the miscellaneous revenue on credit. So we have this on debit with positive value and with
Mm-hmm.
credit on negative value. And it will show as the total debit and credit.
Okay.
So we have beginning balance zero and ending balance zero. So which means the TB is nullified and we don't have any reconciliation issues.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the trial balance report.
I think we're out of time, right? You're 9 o'clock.
Yeah. So we will start tomorrow on this parts like the
Okay.
budget and the other things.
Yeah, before, I mean, of course, when we end this call, right, I have a quick question. You gave that dump, right?
Yes.
So I mean, I've never used a dump before.
Yes.
So do you think if I prepare through the dump, I'll pass the test?
I mean, basically, it will give a few understanding for us. It depends on our preparation. Like with the dumps, if you are able to do few practice as well in the system, like we have
Mm-hmm.
environment. So maybe if you try that,
Which one?
uh, the instance.
Oh, okay, okay. Instance itself. Okay.
Yeah, so just practice a bit, and maybe you can try to attempt a few questions there, and you will
Mm-hmm.
get an idea, like whether we can give it now or maybe next month. So something.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I saw this receivables thing and I was like, I have no idea if, whether truly you just memorize what's there and just go to the test, or what do you do with it? I have no clue. So I was wondering, if I read that and go, will I pass or will I just flunk there?
Yeah, that's what. So basically, we need to work a little bit, and based on that, we can practice with this thing instead of reading. So by
Yeah, yeah.
reading, the chances are very less, I would say, because the questions will not be same. So we need to have some practice. Yeah,
Understanding of the application
yeah.
itself. Yeah. So, has anybody used the dump itself and passed so far?
I mean, only dumb used by dumb. I mean, people nowadays, they are working and they are just giving the exam.
What is it?
So
Sorry.
they are working in some companies and they are giving, I mean, working in the sense they are working in cloud and then they are giving.
Yeah, so they at least know how it is.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So we can practice and then we can try. Actually, only by reading dump, chances are less, I would say.
Because they say 100% pass guarantee, whatnot, they'll say, right? So
That they
I
will
am
just
not sure. Okay. So I was thinking, if that's the case, everybody would read through that and just go and write it. Okay. Anyway, thank you for your time today.
yes,
Yeah. Thank you. See you tomorrow.